Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Welcome. Thanks for noticing. It is, in fact, Friday. It's here, and so is another fabulous Pat Gray Unleashed program for you. BYU Wisconsin will be the matchup on Saturday.
What time's tip-off?
6:45 Central, 5:45 Mountain. So notice that Missouri lost to Drake yesterday. Doggone it. Mm.
Oh, well.
Drake has lost 3 games all season.
Oh, well.
30-3. So you don't really care
you
much
want to
about
mess with the Drake.
The Drake
Bulldogs, right?
I think they are Bulldogs.
Yeah, from Rhode Island.
I believe they are.
No,
Iowa. Iowa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, we just talked about that the other day for some reason. I don't know why.
Because there was 6 teams named Bulldog.
Oh, right, and they're one of them.
Yeah,
and they're still in the tournament. Whereas Missouri, not so much.
They're not Bulldogs though. Tigers.
All right. So after all the look out for VCU. Oh, I don't know if they can handle the A10 champion. They were up by 15, 20 points almost the whole second half.
Yeah, I remember they were playing. I was like, oh, come on. And I looked to see how much time was left in the game. It was a couple minutes left, and they were up by 12. And I was like, all right, well, this game's over.
Yeah. It's a good game. They played pretty well. Maybe not as well as they can, but well enough to win.
Well, they count on threes, and if they're not dropping, good luck, God bless.
Yeah, they were kind of cutting off the three, VCU was, really guarding that heavily, so we went inside a little bit more.
Yeah,
that's what happens. That's what happens. They got a little diversity
on the team.
Yes, and they did. Yesterday on a podcast, J.D. Vance was asked how he's different than Kamala Harris in when she had her role as vice president.
How are you doing the job differently than Kamala did it?
Well, I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. That's one way I think that Kamala really tried to bring herself into the role is these word salads, and I think that I would need the help of a lot of alcohol to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions.
Okay.
Love this guy.
Yeah, I do too. The plain-spokenness of this administration is so refreshing. They don't care. They don't care what you think of him. I'm going to tell you the truth and let the chips fall where they may.
Kind of judgy, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she sounded drunk most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Definitely medicated.
The vice president also discussed these activist judges who have recently assumed the role of the president on multiple fronts.
We have an appeals process. I think the president's been very clear. He's going to respect that process. He's going to take his case all the way to the Supreme Court, or I guess his cases all the way to the Supreme Court. And he, I will say that I think the Chief Justice and other judges or justices on the Supreme Court, like, this is a real opportunity to actually set proper boundaries for both the courts but also the executive. Mm-hmm. You can't have a judge who's controlling troop deployments. You can't have a judge who's controlling how we enforce our immigration laws. The American people actually invested the President of the United States with some of these core law enforcement authorities, and the President has to be able to do the job the American people elected him to do. I think what you're seeing really is judicial overreach on a scale we've never seen in the history of this country, and I think the Supreme Court has got to put a stop to it. We're actually going to, we're of course going to make those arguments to the Justice of the Supreme Court. I think that we're going to win, but we can't let rogue judges tell the President how to conduct the people's business. And Vince, there's another element of this that I don't think anybody has really picked up on, but it's really important. Like, if you think of the courts, right, to get access to the courts, let's be honest, that's mostly for people filing lawsuits. You got to have money to do that stuff. You've got to have money to hire fancy lawyers in civil suits. The way that most normal people, they're not filing lawsuits when they want to accomplish something in their government. They vote for their legislators and they vote for their president.
Good
so
answer.
If we allow basically a bunch of rich lawyers to run the government, but we don't allow normal people who voted for a president to see their government run the way they see fit, that I think what we're really doing is we're not just turning over the power of the government to rogue judges, we're actually depriving the American people of their God-given right to control their government. And it's really a fundamental violation of how the American system was set up.
Yes.
We can't stand for it. We won't stand for it. We're going to keep fighting back against this
Such
stuff.
a smart.
There you
So
go.
great.
Cute little Rock'em Sock'em robots there on the shelf behind Vince. That's the guy that taking Bongino's place. The Vince show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that team he's got back there? Can't tell what helmet that is.
I can't tell.
Of course, I'm going blind. So.
I'm not sure. I just see the.
But great point by J.D. Vance. I mean, like, I love how the left is saying that, it's an oligarchy or whatever. I mean, these unelected judges who think they're little individual presidents over each of their cases. This is...
They think they can stop everything they disagree with.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't work that way. But
It has.
they're trying to make it work that
It
way.
has.
I'm just, Vance talks about taking it to the Supreme Court. That doesn't give
risky.
me much comfort because, who knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah, and that lot of outlets are reporting here online that judge that tried to turn those planes around, that his daughter works for an NGO that gets half of their funding from USAID.
No wonder.
On illegal immigrants.
Oh, my gosh. But he didn't recuse himself.
Nope.
No.
And apparently he didn't put on his forms, I guess, originally before Obama appointed him, of that potential conflict of interest. But here we are.
I don't know that she was doing that then.
That may not have been the case.
Unbelievable. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt also addressed the judges yesterday.
We are 100% confident that we've complied, and as I said from the podium and will continue to say, all of the flights that were subject to the written order of the judge took off before the written order was pushed in the courtroom.
Yep.
And the president is well within his Article 2 power and his authority under the Alien Enemies Act to make these decisions. And we think it's egregious that a single district judge is trying to tell the president of the United States who he can and cannot deport from our soil, especially when it comes to designated foreign terrorists.
Yeah.
There you go.
Full stop.
Put that in your pipe.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even care if you smoke it.
Yeah, just
Put it in your pipe. She also talked about the shuttering of the Department of Education, which was set in motion yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been in motion, really, but he made an executive order yesterday, signed an executive order to start that process of shutting it down.
President Trump is not failing America's children. He is saving America's children with this action that he will take later today, directing Linda McMahon, our great Secretary of Education, to dismantle this federal bureaucracy that has taken more than $3 trillion from the American taxpayer since its inception in 1979. And what have we had as a result of that investment in our children's education? Declining test scores in reading, writing, and math. Proficiency levels at record lows for 8th graders, for 4th graders, at every level in every state across this country. That's why the president is returning education back to the people, to those closest to our students in our classrooms, and that is teachers and educators and parents who know what is best for their children. And we are excited about this event that will be here later in the afternoon at the White House. We will have parents and educators and students and also governors from across the country who are excited to embrace this new responsibility of educating our nation's children. I will add one more point. The Department of Education has never educated a child. All it has ever done is stolen money from the taxpayers for more regulation that has hurt our children's education. And it's about time a president does something about it. And thank God President Trump is.
There's a new pipe to put something in.
Booyah! Yep.
here we are.
And she put a lot of stuff in it.
Yes, she did.
Wow. Now, ultimately, Congress has to put an end to the Department of Education, and they know that. So this is just part of the process of getting it all prepared. I mean, he's actually going through with it. He's following through on that promise. Now, we've heard it a million times from conservatives. Well, you know what needs to happen is the Department of Education needs to be shuttered.
It's too big and clunky.
Yeah,
it's
it's cost us a lot of money. We need to return education to the localities. Need to make that a state and local situation. And never has any action ever been taken until now. Really something to see. I'm surprised. I mean, I knew he was going to do good things, but there were things where you're thinking, okay, yeah, I know. That's sure. You're going to close the Department of Education.
Because we're so used to it.
Yes.
We're so used to being shoveled the goods and then having it just pulled out from underneath us.
We've been subject to the beatdown for so long.
Yes.
By not just Democrats either, Republicans too. They've not done what we asked them to do over and over and over and over again. So we've become a little cynical. So this is quite refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got other people up in arms over it. Their blood is shooting from their eyes because how dare you close a governmental agency? This government needs to be a lot bigger. Way bigger. I mean, they just want it to continue. They want the gravy train to last forever. They want to continue to spend and waste, and they want the fraud and corruption to keep going.
Yes, they do.
Sorry, but not sorry. It's happening. It's on like Donkey Kong, and there's very little you can do about it, except stomp your feet, and they're doing that. They're stomping their feet, and they're encouraging people to get in the street.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a really dangerous situation.
Yeah, and since you bring that up, I mean, we should probably skip ahead to clip 7 here, and just to kind of remind everyone what the left has said over the years, because, boy, they are big mad yet again.
Yep. Cut 7.
Peace. We have to have law and order.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
I unequivocally condemn the violence.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Too many see the protests as the problem. Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Go to the Hill today. Get up in the face of some Congress people.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you
gasoline. What about the gasoline station?
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
When they go low, he can...
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Man.
The left won't stop inciting violence. Yep.
Save America. Mm-hmm. So is that brand new?
No.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
I don't think so. I think that was back during the campaign.
Well, that thing is timeless.
Yes.
No doubt.
Correct.
Wow. Does it ever apply now? Mm-hmm. From the 1960s, especially, until, the 2020 riots of the Summer of Discontent, they've been nothing but violent. And the only respite they've had from it is January 6th, where they could pin everything on the right. Oh, the right is so violent. Are they? Are we? Of course, everybody knows the right is not the problem here. The left is they're always the ones who are creating violence, who are overturning vehicles, who are setting buildings on fire, who are attacking standers-by. It's just, it's always been leftists. And they're losing their minds yet again. Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer, who's really in trouble with both sides right now. He's not sitting well with the left or the right. Is he going to have to just go away? Gosh, I'd hate to see that. Well, no, I wouldn't. I can't even say it as sarcasm. But he's desperately trying to get back into the good graces of the radicals that make up his party's base. Here's what he said.
We are mobilizing in New York. We have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences. This is a long, relentless fight that we fight every day. And I am confident that we will bring Trump's popularity, numbers, and strength down if we keep at it and keep at it and keep at it.
Wow.
Are you?
It feels like intimidation there. And he's admitting that these are Democrat agitators infiltrating these GOP town halls.
He's also admitting it's popular with the people.
Yeah.
He's also admitting that Trump has a mandate from the people. Yep. And all he's saying there is we're going to keep bashing him until such time as people start to believe our lies.
I mean, that's your highest ranking U.S. senator for the Democrat Party, advocating for political intimidation. Okay.
You have a problem with that? You're kind of picky. When did you get so picky all of a sudden?
That when he started
so
following
judgy
his boy.
and picky. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
the RFK Jr. thing. Yeah.
Oh, look at there.
Look at that.
Jeffy.
Thank you.
All right. Let me tell you about steak. I think we can all agree.
Yes,
steak
we can.
Is just simply.
It's coming in?
No, but you can order it at home.
Oh.
I'm supposed to feed you for free every day?
Not you, but someone can bring it
in. So steak is what Tri-Tails beef does, and they do it right. This steak comes from cows that were raised right here in Texas. I love that. I love the domestically grown beef, and especially when it's domestically grown in Texas. So look no further than Tri-Tails beef if you want good, old-fashioned American beef. You can bring premium Texas beef to your table because they're top-tier cuts of meat. They're hand-packed and delivered directly to you. USDA Prime and Choice beef with high-end Black Angus genetics that it really ensures every single bite is consistently delicious. No grass-fed gimmicks here, just premium, flavorful beef that's been raised the right way and balanced for tenderness and marbling. So that means these cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished by Texans who care about the quality of their product, and it shows when you take the fork, stab a piece, and then put it in your mouth. Absolutely delicious. Visit trybeef.com/Pat Gray. Trybeef, T-R-Y, trybeef.com/Pat Gray. Get free steak tips on orders over $249.99. That's T-R-Y, trybeef.com/Pat Gray for free steak tips on orders over $249.99.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Of course, no leftist hysteria would be complete right now without Jasmine Crockett. And
love her.
So, how could you not?
Love her.
How could you not? Here's some comments she had about Elon.
Politicians. So I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes. Listen, wow. I have learned as I serve on the Doge Oversight Committee that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now. And that language is money. And so I've been so proud to see us organized behind a cause.
March 29th.
Mm-hmm. And somebody's spending a lot of money on these protests. They're all being paid. You remember the summer of 2020 when they had bricks set out in sections for the rioters to come through and use and throw through windows? It's the same kind of thing now.
Oh, they're supposed to bring their own?
No.
Can't do that.
I wouldn't expect them to do that.
There's a pallet down the block.
Where do you even find bricks? Bricks or us? I don't even know where to get them.
On that pallet down the street?
Yeah. Fortunately, they happened upon a few pallets, which was really convenient. But they're all crazy. They're just stark raving nuts. And one of the craziest, if you've been following his career, John Cusack, didn't he admit to being either a socialist or a communist at some point?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it came from his own mouth that he was a socialist or communist. Here's what he had to say.
I think everybody should really enjoy taking this guy down and the stock down. And because of the example it will set, nothing's going to. We are in an oligarchic country that's fascist and becoming more fascist every day. And that means people are going to die, and it's going to get as ugly as we can think. And the only way to stop that is if the people who have the money are afraid of us, the 99%. And, it's the people who own the society, the owners, those people. We have to make them really afraid. And what's happening now with Musk is making them very afraid. And that's a good thing.
Oh, God, this guy.
What's happening right now is making them very afraid, and that's a good thing. So burning Teslas, the Molotov cocktails, shooting at Teslas, showing up at dealerships, causing all kinds of violence and vandalism, that's all a good thing.
But
to John Cusack.
I mean,
wow.
if you say target a congressional district.
Yeah.
It all falls on you. But you do this, and you're lauded by the left. I mean, we can't get Greenland soon enough to dump these freaks on.
It would be so nice if we could.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are self-deporting, which is nice. A lot of them are moving to Spain or where was the other big location? I don't care. Go wherever.
Wherever.
Oh, what's-her-face went to
Anywhere
Ireland,
else.
And then a couple of them went to the United Kingdom.
Good.
A couple of them went to Spain.
Yeah, I've never been to Spain.
No.
But I kind of like the music.
What about
the ladies are insane.
Yes, that's what I heard.
But they sure know how to use it. You know what I mean?
I've heard.
I mean, they don't abuse it. I can't refuse it, and they're never going to lose it. That's what I think.
This might not be a bad place to move.
Okay.
No, and they can stay there. And I think that makes America a much better place. I hope they all move to Spain. Go. Good. You have the means, and you have the will. Get out. Get out. We don't need you here.
And Cusack, how much money has he made over the years? He's
millions.
made some money.
Millions.
He's made a few money. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 cuts to clown face, and still hawking his movies. I can't take.
He's got to be,
man.
Well, he's got to be 60 by now, right?
John Cusack, he does belong to the Democratic Socialists of America.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Let's see. What's his net worth here? What do you think? Any guesses here?
I'm going to say
20
30
million,
million.
maybe tops 20.
Yeah.
This says 50 million.
50.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
He needs to donate to the club.
Yeah. And he is how old?
Yeah, he's one of us.
He is 58.
50. Yeah. Close. Yeah, close. What was that movie he did? Wasn't he the one with the big boombox on his shoulder, serenading his girlfriend who was up in the window or whatever?
Yeah, that's.
Say something.
Say anything.
Say anything. Yes. Yeah. Say anything. You can't just say something. You need to say anything.
Which apparently he did that interview there.
Yes.
And it was memorable.
I just watched a Gene Hackman movie, right? The Runaway Jury. Was Cusack, right? Yeah.
Was it good?
That was pre-clown face, and he was good. It was good.
So that was quite a while ago, right? Yeah. Megyn Kelly had Charlie Kirk on as a guest, and the discussion turned to Mahmoud Khalil, another guy they're crying and weeping and wailing about. Because, gosh, how dare you deport somebody who wants to destroy the nation? How dare you?
Right.
But he's stirring up the anti-Semitic hatred at Columbia, and I guess that's fine. But here's Megyn and Charlie talking about
Good
it.
Discussion here.
Green card so fast? I don't know how this guy got his green card so fast. I'd actually like to find out. Because let me tell you something. I've said this before. My nephew, who's an American, he's the son of my sister, married. He went over to teach kids in Korea, like kids, like young teachers will do. And he did that for a couple of years. And he met a Korean woman and he fell in love with her and they got married. And they had a baby who had dual citizenship. In any event, they wanted to move back here. So my nephew came back with his son, but his wife, who's a lawyer and married to an American citizen, but not a U.S. citizen, and whose son is an American citizen, but she's not an American citizen. It's been taking her years just to get a green card, never mind American citizenship.
Yep.
And they have nothing like Mahmoud Khalil's very sketchy history, like working for UNRWA, which is an arm of Hamas. She's still having trouble getting the permanent work papers. So something is sketchy about that guy's case, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we can conjecture why he got his green card so quickly. Is that there are anti-Jewish, anti-Israel forces within the State Department that likely wanted this individual here. Again, we're just hypothesizing, but you're exactly right. I mean, you look at Riley Gaines' husband, who has been trying to get U.S. citizenship and his paperwork all figured out, and it's been a nightmare for quite a while. I mean, we can go through the list. We all have examples of friends and family of people that have tried this, people that are phenomenal and they marry American citizens and they follow the law and they're well-educated and they're great patriots, and nope, we can't get them a green card or a temporary citizenship or citizenship, whatever status you want. You have to wonder, again, I think a proper investigation is warranted, and Marco Rubio can look at this. Was there a fast track? Was there an accelerated process that was put into place for Mahmoud Kamil because he was trained as a professional agitator and organizer. Now, when we look through the left-wing literature, if you look through the left-wing literature, there's documents such as Good Trouble and many of these organizations. They use a hub and spoke model where they believe that a singular agitator or organizer will be able to mobilize 500 to 1,000 people during a moment of mass protest against quote-unquote injustice. We see this in the actual Alinsky literature. This is in their training and their guidebooks. You have to wonder if Mahmoud Khalil was put into Columbia University for the stated purpose of being a professional agitator against the United States and against Israel, and was given a green card for that reason. And was there any suspicion acceleration by the Biden State Department? We don't know. It's worthy to look into, but it would not shock me or surprise me that anti-American forces did this on many college campuses, Megan. What if we were to find out that there were 20 identical type of Mahmoud Khalil, foreign-funded, foreign-trained people that were put on American college campuses, maybe at UCLA or some of these other massive encampments? I saw the UCLA one firsthand, or the one at University of Washington, where they were able to gin up all these well-meaning college kids that have been indoctrinated by their professors. It's worthy to look into, and it also begs a broader and deeper question. How often, if at all, is the American immigration system being used to aid our enemies to create sometimes very quiet or sometimes loud sleeper cells?
Yeah. Wow. That's right.
Yes.
What he said.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly what they both said. Wow. And the prosecution rests, Your Honor.
No doubt.
That is chilling, though. You do have to stop and wonder how many of these agitators are spread all through the country and were allowed in, encouraged to come in by the Biden administration. We could have hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands would be my guess. Speaking of immigrants, the mayor of Boston, she is fantastic. Michelle Wu, she doubled down on having illegals in her city. She loves it.
We stand with immigrants. You belong here.
Pause it.
Somos una ciudad.
See how misleading that is every single time?
Every time. Every time.
She's trying to get the right to oppose immigration. We don't. We don't. Or immigrants. If you're talking legal immigrants, I'm all about it. We all are. I don't know anybody who says no one should ever immigrate to the United States of America. I don't know anybody who says that. We're talking about illegals. People who shouldn't be here that are breaking our laws. All right, let's see if we can finish this. Ugh.
We stand with immigrants. You belong here. Somos una ciudad de inmigrantes. Boston doesn't back down.
Yeah.
We are a city where the Irish coffee is strong and our opinions are stronger. We may not always agree or see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we are a family. If you come for one of us, you will get all of us.
Yay!
I'm telling y'all, there's always Greenland.
Boston's just too great a city to have her destroy it. Just really sad. I mean, it's one of the cleanest, nicest,
I love it,
most fun cities on the East Coast, for sure. It's a great place. And she's doing her damnedest to ruin it, just like they ruined San Francisco and Los Angeles and San Diego and every other California, Oregon, and Washington City.
I prefer Boston in the summertime.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it in the springtime.
You do?
Yeah. You should go to Boston in the springtime.
Oh, I like it. Last time I was there, I stayed with some friends. They had a lot of room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you selling your paintings on the sidewalk?
I was.
Yeah, because I know you do that. You tend to move all over the country. But you know what? You should settle down. Boston ain't your kind of town.
No, I found that out.
There ain't no gold. It certainly ain't nobody like me. All right. We'll chew the fat next with the guy from Boston.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Time to check in with grown-ass man Jeff Fisher and see what's going on with the Fat Five.
All right. We'll start off with Boston. Since we ended the last segment in Boston, we'll start off with Boston. The Boston Celtics is being reported has just been sold for $6.1 billion.
Wow.
So that surpasses the $6.05 billion that the Washington Commanders sold for back in 2023. I mean, you can't get those days back.
No. The bargain days of 2023 are long gone.
And especially that's an NFL team. So this NBA team, the Phoenix Suns sold a couple of years ago for $4 billion.
Wow.
So the ownership group that is selling the Boston Celtics, they bought it way back in 2002.
Ooh. They made a handsome profit, I'm guessing.
They bought it for...
Wait, let me guess. $200 million.
No, 360. My gosh, what kind of...
way off. 360.
Yeah.
Okay, so they bought it for 360. They sold it for $6.1 billion. Like 20 times what they paid for it. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
That's a nice return on investment, isn't it?
And
good ROI there.
Oh, man. No kidding. Yeah. And they don't even get the building. I mean, the Celtics leased the Garden from the Bruins.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. So
the Boston Bruins own the Garden?
Yeah. So that's what I was told.
Huh. All right. So, that's weird.
You get the team. And you know what?
Yeah.
We'll let you keep the banners. What is there, 18 or 19 of them hanging up over here? You get to have those.
Jeez. Was it a private individual or a group?
It was a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a group. Let's see. Where can we go? NASDAQ said that it is going to be opening up regional headquarters here in Texas, further bolstering the state's financial hub. They didn't specify hiring plans for the new headquarters in Dallas, but it did pledge additional investments to support the broad range of clients in the region. They say NASDAQ lists over 200 Texas-based companies with a combined market capitalization of $1.98 trillion. And the state also accounts for the largest number of listings on the New York Stock Exchange. So then we're going to get the Texas Stock Exchange coming to Dallas, and we're going to get a electronic New York Stock Exchange coming to Dallas. They're reincorporating its Chicago branch and making it an electronic branch here in Dallas. So, I mean, we're becoming the financial capital of the world, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't come up with this, but I wish I did. I love it because we have Wall Street, and now we have Y'all Street.
Isn't that adorable? Y'all Street. It's good.
I know. I like it. I like it. I haven't had this happen yet, but I see where Roku users were just a tad upset after the company started testing ads that autoplay before the home screen even appears. I haven't had it happen yet. And I would be very angry if I did. So the comments were like, I just turned on my TV to see a video open on the home screen and play some trailer. It was Moana 2. I hope this was a fluke. Now, Roku steered clear of admitting that it might have gone overboard, saying that, well, we always require continuous testing and innovation across design, navigation content, and our first-rate advertising products. The Moana startup ad is apparently an example of new ways to showcase that. And so customers seem to view this as anything but delightful. Because I know that if it happened to me, I would not be having a delightful experience.
No.
I mean, it's agonizing. Now, apparently there's a way that you can X out of it. So if you turn on. Like I have one old TV just uses the Roku, so that's when you turn it on, that's what comes on is the Roku home screen, which I love. It's a great app. It works great, but I don't know that I want to see commercials every time I turn the TV on.
No, I don't. But and the problem is, this all started. They sucked us all in.
Yep.
Because it was no commercials. That's how we were sold on this, and now they're,
trying to find ways to make some
reneging on
money.
it.
I know, trying to find ways and different ways.
It's irritating.
It sure is. It sure is. It's March. It's March Madness time of the year. I got it, but we have drama brewing in the game of tennis. The Professional Tennis Players Association, the PTPA, a group co-founded by Novak Djokovic and Vasek Pospisil, and financially backed by Bill Ackman, sued a group of the sport's governing bodies over working conditions.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, the lawsuit, which names 12 pro players as plaintiffs, claims athletes are stuck in a rigged game, alleging that the bodies engage in monopolistic practices that put players' financial and physical health at risk. Some of the grievances aired by the players in the 163-page allegations, longer tournaments and inconsistent scheduling, which makes some of the pros play at all hours of the night.
Oh, you can't ask them to do that for a $2 million prize at the end of it.
Excessive anti-doping checks.
Oh, no.
Quit testing me, okay?
Wow. You know what they are? They're basically slaves. That's what they are.
I know. The minuscule prize amounts compared to other high-profile sports.
Are you serious?
Compared to other high-profile sports, minuscule, according to them.
What?
The governing bodies have an iron grip on the players' image rights. If that's true, that's a problem, which prevents them from making money with sponsorships. But they all have sponsors, like they make a lot of money from sponsors. And according to this is my favorite, I think. And
all right.
I've complained about it for so long, and I'm glad someone has finally been complaining about it for real. Okay. They have mandatory participation rules in tournaments, and which change the type of balls they use, and that could lead to more injuries.
Oh, wow.
So, how many times
the tennis ball will lead to injuries?
They keep using different tennis balls, and it leads to injuries.
How?
So, I mean, I've complained about different types of balls for years. Years.
I bet you have. I bet you have. Okay.
I know. Good luck.
Whatever.
Maybe you'll get the people on your side. Subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you get your podcasts. Rate and review where you can. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Thank you.
All right. Before we get back into that, let's check in with Corey in New Somalia.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You must be in
Patterson,
Minnesota. Either Minnesota or Michigan.
Patterson, New Jersey.
Or New Jersey.
Or New Jersey.
No, I'm in Minnesota. I got bingo.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
There you go. All right. Corey, where'd your bingo occur?
Well, I know most people would say their location, like I'm in my office, but
yeah,
you're asking for the line. So,
yes.
Left to right, middle row. What side are you on?
Mm-hmm.
Pat mentions the Coven.
Right.
Pat Screech, Pat, grown-ass man,
Indeed.
and Fauci, I represent science.
Nicely done.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Please don't dead name Minnesota anymore.
Right, thank you.
The People's Republic of Somalia in Minnesota. Is that right?
Yep, the Republic of New Somalia. And Minneapolis is dead name. Needs to be called Little Mogadishu.
This is great.
That's awesome.
All right, Corey, I'm being told that you also sent us, you're the one who sent us the Yetis?
Yeah, but
I am the same culprit. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that. We love them.
Yes.
Appreciate that. And so did we get you all fixed up with the merchandise and the Kexi cookies, and we got all that info?
Yes. Chris, the Rosetta Stone Cruise is going to send it over to me in email.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Right.
Thanks for listening. Another happy winner of the $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and the dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. Now, Jeffy's got more of the Fat Five.
Yeah, let's do some more of the Fat Five. Conan O'Brien, congratulations. Tapped to host next year's Academy Awards. They were already. They were happy that they had the show's highest ratings in 5 years with Conan as the host. I mean, they weren't great, but they're were better. And Conan was fine. He was great. And this makes it his second time hosting. He's got a ways to go, though. To beat the record for most hosting of the Oscars, right? So you had Bob Hope at 19.
Billy Crystal hosted a lot.
9 times.
Okay.
Yep. Johnny Carson, 5 times.
All right.
Jack Lemmon.
Did Letterman
Jack
do it once?
Lemmon, 4 times.
4 times. Mm-hmm.
Letterman, I think, did it once.
Yeah, I think so, too.
The great Whoopi Goldberg, the EGOT winner, Whoopi Goldberg did it 4 times.
Get out of here.
Jimmy Kimmel did it 4 times.
Ugh.
Jerry Lewis did it 3 times.
Okay.
David Niven, you know him, you love him.
David
Niven. Did it 3 times.
All right.
Steve Martin did it 3 times. I didn't realize that. Steve Martin is an EGOT winner, too.
Is he?
Yeah, he's an EGOT holder. So
good for him.
Congratulations for Steve.
Yeah, I like Steve.
I know. And he also, one of the times that Steve Martin did it, he was also joined by Alec Baldwin in 2010 to co-host.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird pairing.
That is a weird pairing. And, speaking of Alec Baldwin, I don't need the gunshots because this is not chewing the fat. But during chewing the fat, the rules of the show are if I say his first name, you get the gun cocking. And if I say his full name, you get the gunshot. It's just the rules of the show. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
But
you don't make universal law. You just live by it.
Thank you.
What are you going to do?
He's. Have you watched the new reality show, The Baldwins, yet?
I have not. I've seen the commercials though.
It's
Can't
tough to get
wait
through. There's 4 episodes on TLC. It's on Sunday nights. 4 episodes available right now.
What a treat! I'm going to go binge that this weekend.
Really?
Over basketball? Man.
I watched the first episode. I watched the.
You did
entire
watch the whole
first
thing?
episode, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the only one I've watched
And?
so far. Oh.
Brilliant.
Did
you find yourself in agreement with him on a lot of stuff?
They spent the entire episode talking about how small the place was, the kids were running around crazy, and they were busy packing to go to their summer home in the Hamptons.
How small the place was. How many square
So it was
feet?
tough. It was a tough episode.
How many square feet?
How small is his
so
house?
the place in New York.
Okay.
Well, he talks. That's why and people were pissed at him because in the first episode he talks about they first moved in and they didn't have any kids.
Okay.
And it goes a little bit something like this.
What are you doing with that bone? We moved into this apartment in November of 2011. Her and I, no kids. It's quiet. And then number 1 came. 1 kid, 2 kids. No, you come back. No. Oh, don't do that. Oh, heads up. 3 kids, 4 kids. And I thought that was the outer limit. But we kept going.
Yeah, what a dump his house looks like.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is a dump. Okay, so this.
Okay,
this
so
place,
how many square feet is this place?
6,000.
Oh, it's only he's got to squeeze into 6,000 square feet
in New York,
in an apartment in New York.
Yeah, in New York.
Oh, now how bad do you feel for him? Man.
So this one is it's worth $16 million. When they first moved in, they it was smaller, and they bought the apartment next door to make it larger into the 6,000.
Well, of course, you have to. You have to.
So they first moved in, even for them.
I would have bought the entire floor.
This is too small. I'm surprised
Not just
he did.
the next door apartment.
He was going to do that, but then he has the 10,000 square foot dump in the Hamptons that they go to.
Man. Life is rough for him.
He is such a miserable human being.
Oh my gosh. And I almost...
Did they ever talk about his relationship with his daughter, Ireland?
He mentioned it. One of the promos mentioned it, that he had such a hard time with her. And
after the divorce?
Yeah, and that he spent all this time, it took a long time to repair. And
wait. When he called her a rude,
selfish,
rude little pig, that harmed
damaged the relationship. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I almost feel...
Ireland is really sensitive, really touchy about things.
Yeah.
You know, most 11-year-olds would just blow that off and not worry
12
about
or however
it.
old you are.
She seems to have held a grudge over the years, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know
how
old the daughter is.
Okay, but this next clip, Jeffy, we got to get to this.
All right, so because I almost feel sorry for him.
But not quite.
Because she is agonizing, but he's such a douche.
Ireland?
Yeah.
No, the wife.
Oh, the wife.
Hilarious.
This is
he's such a douche, though. You know what? I don't feel sorry for him. Because she is, oh my gosh, agonizing. So they're on the red carpet at the grand reopening of Planet Hollywood in NYC. And when you reopen a Planet Hollywood, you want, of course, Alec and Hilaria there. You have to have them there. And Extra was there interviewing the red carpet attendees. And they were asking her about the possibility of a second season, which... good luck with that. But
the Hilaria show.
No. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great.
This
You're
season,
a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
Ooh.
No.
He is so
I think
pissed right here.
this is a really
He is so pissed. He just walks around.
raw show, and it's very real, and we took a lot of chances.
Yep.
And,
I don't blame him. He should be pissed.
We'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have be out there,
Just
and
terrible.
then we'll see.
So pissed.
if people
Nobody
like
cares
it.
what you're
That's-
saying, Hilaria. Nobody cares.
We're just watching Alec in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Nobody
he's
cares what
pissed.
you're
And there was
saying.
another clip.
He was
Is that right?
pissed. Yeah, well, there's one more. Then they got upset because people were all upset over this. So she forced him to do this Instagram story in bed at home.
Oh, no.
And they were addressing this.
Okay.
It was terrible. I mean, it's great.
There,
It's gonna be great.
This
You're a
season-
winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
See?
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Now they're playing back the audio
This
of
is
the
why. Yes, we'll
extra
have to
clip.
just cut him out of the show. And that is called, what's the word of the day?
Manterrupting.
Manterrupting, which could be a positive, it could be a negative, or it could be a
divorce.
Correctile dysfunction.
yes, correct. I think that's one of our children trying to get into the room. But,
You can stop
the whole
because she
point is
babbles
because our
on
children-
here and goes on until one of the kids comes in. I mean, it's just. I mean, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
So he
makes it worse.
under the covers, and she's in an evening gown. What the hell?
It's
in
just-
the bed.
I mean, again, I almost.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
If it were
Almost.
anybody else, if it were anybody else, man.
Almost,
But it's
yes,
Alec
sir.
Baldwin. It's just like you
I
deserve
know.
It's an interesting outfit, though.
It sure is.
No, I'm a fan. She's like 26 years younger than him.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, just fine. Whatever. I mean, there's no age limit on love. You know
thank
that.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
sick of hearing people try to put an age limit on love. I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. That's so much more, too. But just that'll wrap up 2
All right.
Fat Five.
And there it is. And there's more where that came from coming up after the break.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Big weekend. March Madness continues for some of us. Some of our teams already gone. Some teams didn't even make it in the first place. But BYU plays tomorrow
Feeling
against
attacked.
Wisconsin. Are you?
A little bit.
Are you? Oh, boy. When was the last time Nebraska made the tournament?
Oh, gosh.
Has it been a while?
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
And they've never won a game in the tournament,
That's
right?
a fact.
That's sad.
Yeah.
BYU has the wonderful distinction of making the most tournaments without getting to a Final Four.
Oh, wow.
So I can feel a little bit of your pain, but maybe this is the year. We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, if you are looking for a gift that's simple but really stands out, at Kexi, which my wife Jackie bakes for and comes up with all the recipes for each of the cookies. Every cookie is made from scratch using high-quality ingredients, no shortcuts. Things like fresh butter. Yeah, there's a little butter in these cookies.
Yes, sir.
Rich chocolate and recipes that have been in the family for years in some of the cases. Some of them are new, but many have been in our family for generations. Perfect for birthdays, for thank yous, or just because. Let me tell you what Tony said about our cookies. We finally tried Kexi after hearing about them on Pat Gray Unleashed. Wow. These cookies are delicious and very large. My husband absolutely loves the Irish cream brownie. It's really good for you, too. If you had about 3 of those a day...
Healthy you would be,
yes. And the mint chocolate cookie is incredible, my favorite. In fact, we love them so much we already ordered another dozen. Can't wait until they're here. You got to try them. You'll love them too. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. If you'd like to try them, go to Keksi.com, Keki, Keksi.com. Pick out your favorites.
Yes. Pat Gray continues.
Yes, it does. Welcome. Hey, we want to thank Kevin Cundiff from Temple, Texas, for sending us these really cool. Can you get a shot of the
look at this,
light
Joe.
boxes that he gave us?
Check this out.
That's cool. We got 2 of them.
We can't
find a plug-in for this one.
Yeah, this has got a USB type deal.
Yeah.
But so you can't maybe tell, but it's lit up. It's
beautiful.
bright. It's
really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, very cool.
Nice. He's
Thank
obviously
you for
using an outdated lightning bolt that has the full tip.
Oh, yeah. Right, because the original, you'll see, has been broken. But we don't know who did it, and we don't know why.
We got cameras all over this room. None of them captured.
I think we know
the culprit.
Who did it. Yes.
We're coming for you, Steve Dace.
Thank you.
All right. We've got so much to talk about still. The director of the NEC. Is that what this says, Keith? NEC? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
The National...
I just copied it from the email.
Something or other?
See. Hold on. What is the egg guy, right?
Yeah, he's the egg guy.
He's the egg guy.
The egg guy. Egg price is way down. Good for him.
That's what he's actually talking about.
There you go.
It's the National Economic Council.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not the egg.
And here's what he had to say. This is good stuff.
Can you give us an update on that ag program that you mentioned on the egg prices? How's that going?
They're down $2.50 a dozen. And I went to the grocery store, as I do every Saturday, because I'm the one who likes to shop in my family because I get to see all the prices. And the egg prices in D.C. were actually down quite a bit more than $2.50 a dozen.
There you go. Correlated with what the Trump administration is doing.
Because if you look at the data on the culling of chickens, it's basically stopped starting on January 20th.
Yeah.
There's a chart we can show you on that. But it's astonishing how many chickens were killed in the last 2 months of the Biden administration. And by having a more prudent, as Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins has done, a more prudent policy about how to manage the disease, then we got lower egg prices and healthier chickens because they're not being culled in millions. Again, remember, it was more than 100-something million chickens were culled, and they spent $2 billion killing the chickens. And if you look at what's happened to the culling since President Trump took office, it's gone almost to zero. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you guys very much.
What consumers are actually paying. We've seen wholesale prices go down, but it's not always reflected in the grocery store.
The latest egg prices, go to the grocery store. I literally just went to the grocery store and bought the same eggs I always bought, and they were way down.
The whole country,
no, but it's $2.50 a dozen for the whole country. So. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Go to the grocery store.
That is so
I bet Caitlin
good.
Collins, that was her voice. Ugh. I bet she hasn't been to a grocery store in a decade.
No way.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Fantastic.
And do you think that the Biden administration was killing chickens to stop bird flu or to set up what they got? To have Trump blamed for high egg prices the last 2 months?
Bird flu?
After they knew that, the bird flu. All right, we got, you're too trusting.
Oh, you didn't want my answer? Okay.
You're too trusting.
It was rhetorical.
Okay.
So,
Never mind.
Yeah. So, it's gone from its height, which was $8.23 a dozen nationally. $8.23.
Yeah.
To around $3, $3.04, something like that. A dozen.
He was saying $2.50 or whatever.
He said
well, it went down $2.50.
Yeah.
It went down $2.50 a dozen to about $3.04 a dozen. I mean, that's incredible.
Amazing.
It's kind of an amazing what will happen if you don't kill all of our chickens in the country. 100 million were killed.
Yeah.
And it cost us $2 billion to do it. That's amazing.
And not a peep from PETA.
That's for sure. Why? Because it was a Democrat in office who was doing it. That's all I can figure. I mean, why wouldn't you say something about that?
It was the humane thing to do.
Yeah, of course it was. Sure. We know that 100 million chickens were all sick, and we're going to infect the rest of the chicken population.
Yep.
I would have hidden my chickens, man. Come on.
I think some people did.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, we were told people did hide their chickens. I don't know where's a good chicken hiding place? Maybe
Right over
Chris
there.
knows.
Oh,
Chris, where do you hide your chickens?
My backyard.
In your backyard.
Yes, they're not
because that's the
registered.
last place the FDA would look for them,
Yeah,
right?
they're not registered. So
They're not.
they're not registered.
Do you have to register
No, you don't
chickens?
have to register them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just
If
saying.
you have a certain amount, I mean, I'm sure
Yes.
that if you have,
Yes.
you have to
Thank
put
you.
them in the back 40.
Yeah.
You know, so you.
If somebody was coming to inspect your chickens to cull them, to kill them, where would you put them?
Oh, inside the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never had chickens.
Would they make a mess of your house? Poop and stuff all over it,
and the whole
drop
family
eggs everywhere.
would get bird flu and be over.
Yeah, but at least they'd still be alive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For a while,
Thank
at
you.
least. How long do chickens live? What is the lifespan of a chicken?
About 5 years max.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is
You
that,
miss them?
Hold on. Is that your living room we're hearing in the background?
I thought it was bring your pet to work.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he's hiding them today in the studio.
No, the coast is clear. He just said we've killed none since January 20th.
Yeah. Wow.
They're fine now, man.
It's great.
But Keith got some eggs yesterday from me. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
pay the $5
Looks like I overpaid, according to the NEC egg guy.
But Chris, in fairness, said
Yeah.
no matter what the conditions,
Yes, $5.
$5
$5 a dozen.
$5
So that's
bucks
on
a
me.
dozen.
I'm bad at math. He took advantage of me. I get it.
he
I
did.
get it. Yeah.
But you get what you pay for.
True. Free range chickens, backyard.
In Connecticut, when we lived there was a jingle that said brown eggs are local eggs and local eggs are fresh.
Nice.
Is that the case?
Yes.
Are your eggs brown?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. How do
there's
they
no
get
such
white?
thing as a white egg.
Do they bleach them?
Yes, that's and I was trying to tell Keith yesterday. That's to get rid of that, of course, the poop layer, but then get rid of that protective layer that the chicken.
What do you do for the poop layer?
You wash them off.
You just wash them. That's it. Okay.
So those aren't Hispanic chickens.
They're not Hispanic chickens.
Okay, because the white eggs would be the Caucasian chickens.
I thought for sure that Chris was giving us island eggs. No?
But I'm close of getting the teal eggs, those baby blue color eggs.
Oh, yeah, because some
they're
chickens
so
around the world
pretty.
give you different colored eggs.
How's that happen?
Is that true?
Yes.
Really?
There's some chickens that
Wait a minute.
will go full range of different colors.
You're right. I did not believe you. So I'm going to the chicken expert, Chris, who's got, I don't know, chickens!
Jeffy acts like this is the first time someone doubted him.
Right?
Bro, that's how we roll here. Come on now.
So there is no such thing as a white chicken egg?
No, sir.
I don't
Those
know
are
that I knew
bleached.
that. That's amazing. Huh. Wow. All right. Well, from what I've seen, a lot of dyes are going to go away, right? The red 3 has already gone away, sort of. It's been banned. But they're talking about red 40, blue number 2.
My boy don't play
Yellow
with
6.
dyes.
Yeah, that's right. Your boy is all about getting rid of the dyes.
That's his first order of business.
Orange 93.
Yeah.
Turquoise 47. They're all going away.
What about maroon 5?
Maroon 5 is going to stay.
Oh,
they're going to stay. Yeah. Yeah.
They're unhappy about it, but they're going to stay.
That's good, Chris. Thank you.
I'm learning from you guys.
That's good.
There you
He's
go.
learning English really well.
I like
and
that.
Jumping in with
Did a
English
little
jokes and
pop
stuff. That's
culture
good.
reference, and it was germane to the topic.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it wasn't a Christian band. I mean, how did you do that?
Write this day down.
It's a miracle. It's an Eastern miracle.
Wow, we're proud of you.
Who's a good little Territorian? You are.
Wait, he got awfully quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, he did.
He's mad now.
He did.
No, I'm just so proud of this
Just
moment.
soaking
I
it
just don't
in.
wanna ruin it.
Yeah. He's rarely gotten this kind of praise on the show. Earlier this week, Lieutenant General updated us on U.S. military involvement against the Houthis.
I love this administration so much.
So good. Here's that update.
You know, the Houthis claim to have tried to attack the Harry S. Truman. Quite frankly, it's hard to tell because while we're executing precision strikes, they missed by over 100 miles. So I would just tell you, their effectiveness,
Nice.
I would question anything that they claim in the press that they're doing or not doing. It's very hard to tell what they are just based on their level of incompetence that they've demonstrated so far. Wow. Yes, that's correct. There's also been a number of other attempts to interdict vessels in the Red Sea using UAVs and some cruise missiles as well. All of those have been easily defeated by our fighter aircraft that are there.
General Grinch throwing shade at the Houthis from the podium. I love it.
Some of the folks in here know that my previous job, I dealt with the Houthis quite a bit.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm happy to throw shade at them.
That's awesome.
Good.
That was so
good.
Great.
So I guess are we not shooting at the Houthi people? We're just shooting down their drones right now. Interesting.
What a shame.
Yeah. I mean, I want to take out terrorists wherever they are. And any portion, any region, let's just
And they claim
it.
now they claim that the Houthis are now attacking Israel, right? With
yeah, they've been for a while.
Yeah. And they're, you know, that's an offshoot of Iran. I don't know that Israel's going to take that for much longer.
I don't think they will.
We may be without the Houthis soon.
Wouldn't that be a shame?
It would be.
Wow. Oh, well, let's move on. Rise of the machines. The humanoid robots are getting pretty scary now. Is this Boston Dynamics? Mm-hmm. Okay. So they've come up with a new machine. And
see what this thing can do.
Looks like this. Okay, this isn't a guy in a suit, right?
No,
because they've done that before.
No, this is
an actual robot. Look how natural that looks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine about 200 of those coming down your neighborhood street?
Well, yes, but I can also imagine it cleaning my kitchen floor, which I want.
Until it gets tired of doing that.
Look at the agility on this thing.
Yeah. Have you? You weren't here when I went through the robots.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Is it going to do a somersault? Nope.
Yeah, it will.
Stand
It does a handstand. Rolls
Stand
over,
by.
Yeah.
Backflip?
Stand by. Boom.
Oh,
and his
my.
little head does its little...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't care for this.
It can do that little Russian dance.
Oh, breakdancing.
That's great. Cartwheel?
A little Russian dance. That's good. See, it's not fully autonomous yet, though. You know,
so somebody's controlling it. It didn't just say, hey, go out and do some gymnastics.
Right.
Huh. Still, the agility is impressive.
I know.
That's incredible. I mean, we've come a long way.
We went through on overtime. Broke down all the robots that are being built by different companies around the globe. We are really close to having them in your home.
Cool.
And then when they're paired with AI, it's going to be really convenient.
Correct. And there's
good.
also ones that when we went through those robots, and I forget how many there was at least 20 of them from different companies around the world. There were others that were government robots that they didn't have any information about the company that was making them or anything, but they look military-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Because
whole thing is
Keith, talks about what do you see when 100? It's going to be more than 100. And what are you going to do when they come marching into your neighborhood? Seriously.
Then you're going to be praying for an EMP. Need to drop. We're going to drop an EMP. We're going to lose all of our technology, but at least it will stop this army that is gone rogue.
Let's hope that's so.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him not go rogue in the first place. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Keep my fingers crossed.
Me too. I just want to just clean the house. Just do some laundry.
Yeah. Go out and cut
I don't
the
know
yard.
I don't know that they can get their hands wet yet in the sink. So
would that short them out?
Yeah, maybe. So go ahead and put some dish gloves on.
Okay. It'd be good when that happens, though.
I know.
For a little while until they decide I'm tired of this domestic labor. I'm going to kill the owner and take their house.
Right, well, that's the whole point behind the Netflix movie Electric State, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Anytime in life you got to make a big change, it can be really hard. It's especially true when you're planning to buy or sell your house. It's really complicated. It takes a lot of time, a lot of jumping through hoops, and a lot of big decisions to make. What should you remodel? What will you get your money out of? What neighborhood, when you're buying a house, should you move into? What school district? That's where your realtor comes in. Somebody who's really great and knows the market and is with buyers so they know what they're looking for and can really advise you on the things that are necessary and things that are a big waste of time and money. Real estate agents I trust. We just set you up with a realtor. It's a free service we provide for you. You don't pay a dime for it. And then you and your real estate agent ride off into the sunset together. It's like a beautiful cowboy movie, like Shane. Of course, Shane rode off alone, I think, if I remember correctly. But you can ride off with your realtor.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to ride alone.
Yeah. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
Subscribe to Pat Gray Unleashed on iTunes and Spotify.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is kind of cool. We've talked. How many times have we talked about the endowment at Harvard being $50 to $60 billion, and the fact that they could pay the tuition of every single student who ever goes to that school for the next 50 years?
Yep.
With their endowment. What are you going to use that money for? What are these universities using this money for? It just sits there and grows.
Hire terrorists. That's what they're using the money for.
Right now, that seems to be the case. But they've announced free tuition for students whose families make $200,000 or less. Because obviously, unless you make more than that, you can't afford Harvard. But they're gonna. They're going to begin to offer that to the students shortly. The school said Harvard College will be free for students who come from families with annual income of $100,000 or less, but will solely be tuition free for students whose families make $200,000 or less. Okay. According to their leadership, this financial aid expansion backs up the college's decades-long commitment to enabling more undergraduate students, especially those from middle-income families, to receive the financial support they need to attend. I'm sure that's been super important to Harvard for a long time.
Well, they said it.
Yeah, they did say it. You're right. If they said it, must be so.
Mean it. They
right?
have
to. Will everything at Harvard be free for qualifying students? Let's see. Financial aid will cover tuition, fees, food, housing, and more.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, that's a start.
And they could do this for how long? Until they run out of money?
They could do this for 50
forever.
years and pay for all students. That's not what they're doing here, obviously.
And that's what the money that they have now. So, if they were to do that to everyone, then once everyone graduated, they would repile their money into the fund. So it would keep alive.
Sure they would.
Sure.
Liberals that grow up and they're so generous with the money that they go out and earn.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So the people that Harvard churns out
are givers.
Give back.
They're givers.
They're all givers.
That's give back.
You know that's true.
Holy crap. Who are you? Jeff
They're
Fisher
going to do it. They're going to give back.
Body snatched.
Go on for
He thinks people are good.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
Give back. Okay. Who are you?
All right. Incredible.
A nation turned inside out.
One generation later.
Absolute fear-mongering.
Tonight's SVU.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Tonight on a very special SVU Pocatello. The common cold wipes out every person in the city and spreads throughout Idaho, killing people in Twin Falls, Boise, and even Idaho Falls. On an all-new SVU Pocatello, everyone dies. How did we become such sissies?
World?
How did this happen? Where you go from having measles parties to it's the deadliest, most awful thing that can possibly happen.
It's a combination of things. You've got a public that likes to be scared into submission by their government, and you've got big business that stands to make lots of money off of things like vaccines. So when you get those two combining forces, then you've got a terrified public that's uneducated, and Ta-da, SVU.
Did Fauci have a hand in developing the MMR vaccine too? We should look into that.
I read a big story about where they were trying to get everyone. The premise of the entire story was, well, everybody needs to be vaccinated from the measles and everything else. And but they came up with something that I had not heard before called immune amnesty. Immune amnesia. Immune amnesia.
Where your immunity forgets?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you get the measles, right, it kicks the crap out of all the other immunities that you have. So you're more susceptible to other diseases. That's why you need the vaccine.
That's garbage. That is garbage.
I'm just telling you what the doctor said, okay?
Okay.
I don't see a connection.
Immune amnesia. I've never heard that before.
I haven't either.
I'm not seeing a connection between MMR and Fauci.
No, okay.
For what it's worth.
Yeah.
But
that probably happened before.
That was a good thought. Yeah, this is 1971 on the MMR.
Mm-hmm. He kind of he rose to prominence in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah. In New York City, a law allowing non-citizens to vote is now dead as the state's highest court shut it down. The New York Supreme Court shut that down? How'd that happen?
Amazing.
Donald Trump. I betcha. A lot of the stuff is happening because of President Trump.
Because they know that he will fight them in court and he will drain their pockets the way they've done to him.
We're going to cut you off of federal funds, and they know he's serious. I mean, Boston is going to have that battle here pretty soon. And so is everybody else.
Everybody else
who won't comply with the law.
Look at Fort Myers, Florida, just did this very same thing. And
how does that become a law in the first place?
DeSantis shut him down. Said you're breaking state law. You're not getting any money. Nothing.
I can't even understand how that becomes a law in the first place. Or you're going to let illegals vote.
It's obviously Democrats thinking that all the illegals are going to vote for them, I guess, and that's why they push these things through. I don't know any other explanation for wanting non-citizens to vote. What's the explanation there? No idea.
I don't know.
No idea.
It has to be that.
But it's so bad that even Mark Penn, who is a political pollster, he's a former strategist for Hillary Clinton, he just said the Democrat Party is in ruins.
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
He wrote an op-ed saying the new Republican Party is positioned to deepen its support with these lapsed Democratic voters. Democrats are facing the worst ratings in decades in my polls and others, dropping to as low as 29% favorability in the CNN poll, down from 62% in 2008. He said the reasons are pretty clear. After the 2024 election, voters reevaluated the job that President Joe Biden did and began scratching their heads at the actions and positions of Democrats in Congress. Unless there is a major reset, I expect they'll have an unexpected wipeout in next year's midterm elections. That would be something else.
I mean, a lot could happen.
Yeah.
Between now and then.
It can.
Sure.
But
and the numbers.
Trump broke them.
Trump did break them, but the numbers on Doge aren't really great. You know, people like the idea of, obviously people like the idea of, the government spends way too much money and they waste money, but man, you just can't go in there and rip everything apart like
Last
that.
I saw, it was 44-27, and then some undecided in favor of Doge.
Nice.
Yeah.
What numbers are you talking about?
I heard them read a poll this morning on one of the radio programs I listened to driving in.
Okay.
And those numbers were not that.
Huh.
He's not believing a lot that you have to say today.
I'm not. Admittedly, I'm not believing it.
It's not maybe he has immune amnesia.
Oh, yeah.
Immune amnesia. I love it. So, okay, that's interesting. The Democrats are struggling like this. But to Jeffrey's point, there's so much time between now and the election. What's this clip 17?
Because you got the old guard, right? Gosh. Schumer and Pelosi and all them still standing guard.
Yeah.
And Sanders. But then you have the new guard with Jasmine and AOC and what's her, the squad.
To your point, yes, between now and the election, who knows what can happen. However, it's just so fun to think that Donald Trump stopped the Clinton dynasty. he stopped what seemed inevitable, the Hillary Clinton presidency that never happened. If anybody can buck the trend of an incumbent president losing Congress, which didn't happen the first time, but it would be this guy, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So here's hoping that trajectory continues on their favorability ratings, because they have no direction and no leader, and I love it. What's this 17 clip? You want to see this?
Adam Kinzinger?
Oh, my gosh.
I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
So I just saw that Trump is threatening the January 6th committee again. Listen, this dude knows that this is the thing that embarrasses him. He won't admit it embarrasses him because he's trying to pretend like he didn't do anything. He's obsessed. He didn't. He's more obsessed with me and Liz Cheney than his freaking golf score. Hey, Trump, bring it on.
I never hear him talk about Adam Kinzinger, but I hear Kinzinger talking about Trump all the time.
I know.
Who's obsessed with whom? Here, Adam? Come on. See if we can get through this.
Bring it on, dude.
Okay.
You weak, whiny, tiny man who, by the way, I saw a picture of you this weekend. You're hiking up your pants now to really just below your man boobs, and you're sweating so much. Looking pretty bad there. But bring it, man.
Obsessed.
Stop with all the big mouth talking stuff. You're a grown man. You don't talk like one, but you're a grown man. Come on, dude. Bring it.
Oh, my gosh.
That is incredible. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
What an amazing douchebag.
No kidding.
So obsessed.
Oh, my gosh.
It's call the Secret Service. This guy's not stable, and he's clearly obsessed with the president.
Oh.
And
is he still claiming to be Republican?
Yes.
Or has he officially? Come on. He crossed over a long time ago.
Stop it.
That's ridiculous.
And did he call him a little man?
Tiny man.
A tiny man.
Mm-hmm.
5'7" Adam Kinzinger weighing in.
He's 5'7"?
That's what I'm seeing on the internet.
I love that.
I probably wouldn't. If you're trying to pick your cut downs, maybe you avoid that phraseology if you're 5'7".
Since you're a Lilliputian, you might want to just avoid that particular insult.
Yes.
You're saying go with something else, a different. It's whatever you want to do. Just avoid trying to, because then people like me are going to Google your height.
And then Trump is what, 6'3"?
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, ridiculous. Also, Elon Musk blames Ukraine for the massive X cyber attack.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Because remember, that's where the IPs were from. So the talk was, is Ukraine being framed? I don't know. Or did it come from there? I don't know. He's convinced it came from there. So
yeah, he's pointing the finger directly at Ukraine. Tens of thousands of X users experienced a series of outages caused by a large cyber attack. And Musk said, we get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved.
So we probably paid for the attack on X.
Probably.
Cool.
Yeah, probably. It's nice to know, though, that those funds are not flowing so freely anymore. And that's what's brought Zelensky to the table here and injected a little bit of sanity into that discussion. It sure has,
and all the stories are, the European Union is, they're behind Zelensky, but they're not funding it.
Right.
And without the U.S.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. It's a different process without the U.S.
Yes.
Now they're starting to reevaluate. I wonder if we maybe should push peace here. Maybe we should.
And I think it was the EU too that postponed the tariffs, right? They postponed another round. Yeah, we're going to talk some more. We're not going to do those tariffs. Oh, okay.
You're not used to having a strong president, are you?
All right, let's talk for a minute about emergency preparedness. We live in a world that's constantly changing in ways that a lot of times we don't even see coming. But one thing that will always remain the same is the need to be ready right now for whatever emergency. Some emergency preparedness vitals include emergency contacts, a plan for evaluation routes, and meeting places with your family, a getaway bag with important documents, flashlights, batteries, that kind of stuff, and non-perishable food, of course. But you also need to consider having a Jace case so that you've got really important antibiotics on hand in case you get some kind of bacterial infection. The Jace case, you just go online, you fill out a quick form, they just review it to make sure you're not allergic to any of the medications, and you can order some add-ons too if you want. In addition to the antibiotics, you can get ivermectin. You can even get, check out the website, you can even get your daily medications that you use on a regular basis through Jace. Fantastic.
Yeah, Jace Daily.
The Jace Daily. Yeah, it's fantastic. The Jace case, personalized emergency kit, contains essential antibiotic medications. And as I mentioned, things like ivermectin if you want. Go to jace.com, enter their giveaway too, or just purchase your own case. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout and you'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jase.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed is here.
And welcome to it. Chris, walk us through some of these pictures we have. We didn't talk about this the other day when it happened. There was a bunch of, I guess these were a lot of pastors and ministers, evangelists with Donald Trump the other day. Praying over him.
That first one I love because way in the back right side, that is David Barton.
Oh, yeah, his head down, yeah.
His head is down, and he actually
there he is.
to spend a day with Trump and prayed over Trump and kind of give us an update of what's happening. But another reason I want to show this photo is, Jeffy, there's the FIFA Cup still at the White House 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it's still there. He told them, leave it there.
They did.
They did. Yeah,
they did.
If the president tells you you're leaving
that's
awesome.
Trophy here, are you going to take it back?
I will say, well, yeah, he'll give it to the champions.
Exactly. He will give it to the champions.
Yeah.
Not the commission.
Is that the
Probably.
plan now?
I don't know, but probably.
Okay. Man. Wow. Look at the gold, though.
I know. I love it.
And I think one of the reasons that he's keeping the trophy is because it's gold plated.
Yeah, it is. And he likes how it opened up. It opened up. It was a really cool trophy, actually.
It is cool. That's very cool.
But it's absolutely because it's gold. Yeah, it's got the gold trim.
And then,
love that.
If you guys remember, he signed whatever order it was to make the Jocelyn Wildlife.
Yeah, Jocelyn Nungaray.
Look at Apple Maps.
Oh,
and
is that
Google
where she got killed?
Well, in Houston.
Houston,
yes. It's in the same area.
It's the Jocelyn Nungaray National Wildlife Refuge.
So Apple and Google have updated their maps.
And I think we're in the point where Google and Apple will just do whatever Trump says.
It kind of seems like it, doesn't it?
The maps.
Does seem like it.
They're not pushing back. They're not
complaining.
Yeah, that was a lot
whining
quicker,
about it.
though, than the Gulf of America.
That one went a lot quicker than the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
You're right.
But you might notice the Nungaray National Forest is very near the Gulf of America.
Yeah, they still have the Galveston Bay and Trinity Bay there.
Wow.
But I'm noticing that all these companies are just...
Yeah, they're caving in.
Playing ball.
As they should.
Yeah, as they
should play ball.
I want to show you guys something and see what your thoughts are on this. This is interesting. This right here, this chart, this is the imports of gold bars, inbound shipments of precious metals, and this is a 3-year chart. This right here spiked during the invasion from Russia into Ukraine. Look at it now. So the theory, gentlemen, is that...
They're filling up Fort Knox.
That's right.
That's what I was going to guess.
They're
That's
filling
the
up
theory.
Fort Knox.
Somebody knows they're about to be audited.
Oh, my gosh.
And just, if you're listening, there's been a lot of activity in December and January.
And we haven't talked about it.
Wow.
We haven't talked about Fort Knox in a little while. It's been overshadowed by all the other stories.
Yeah.
So until it gets
if they show up
refilled,
if
then
Musk,
they'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, we got to go to Fort Knox."
But think about this: if Trump and Vance and Musk show up at the cameras, let's see the vaults. Are they going to check the visitors logs and say, "Wait, what's all these?" Truck deliveries the last few months.
Don't worry about our delivery shipments, okay? There's the gold.
Are we paying for these? Like, where did the gold go? And are we paying for these
maybe
replacement?
And more people want it. I mean, Utah is. I think they're getting ready to pass a law now where you can. They'll do business with you with gold. I think.
Well, they got the gold backs, whatever they're called, the little paper gold dollar bills that Utah can use in Utah. I know that Glenn was talking to one of the people over there from Utah. You could use gold basically to pay in Utah.
Interesting.
That is.
Yeah.
At the 7-Eleven and stuff? Like, hey, can you break this bar for me?
Paper gold.
That's all right. Paper gold. Okay.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah, which I don't recommend dealing in paper gold.
No, you want the bar.
Yeah, you want the actual gold.
Yeah.
You want physical gold.
You want to shave a little bit?
Yeah, you shave a little piece off.
Okay.
Here you go. There's my pack of gum.
I'm sure the guy at the QT is going to take that from you.
Yeah, he'll know. He'll know how much gold you need to give him in.
It's a
He'll
little
do the right
scale.
thing with it. Sure.
It's a little scale.
All right. So we're hearing about this Institute of Peace thing now. What is that? We're going to talk about this on Overtime. The U.S. Institute of Peace.
Love them.
You haven't heard about this before? No. I don't even know what that is.
I didn't hear about it until this.
Until recently.
I actually found an article on it. I forget. I don't know if I printed it up, but you talk about something that's in the shadows that we need answers on.
Yeah, the Institute. It sounds like a nice, friendly,
yes, it does.
Wonderful institution,
Didn't
doesn't
USAID sound that way, too?
It did, U.S., because you thought it was USAID, not the U.S. Agency of International Development.
I always thought it was just you said.
Yeah. No.
But no, it
was not.
Surprisingly, Jeffy, it is not, you said.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I would like to get some more information because right now there's an Obama judge that put a hold on, that sided with Trump on dealing with that entity. So that's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. But we also didn't mention another swatting.
Of a conservative?
From Alex Jones's group.
Jeez.
Owen Schroyer got swatted the other night. We didn't mention that. I mean, the list continues to grow.
Came out of that unscathed, though, thankfully. I mean,
it's out of control, man.
Dangerous.
Yep.
They're trying to get people killed.
That's exactly what they want.
They really do want that because they know how dangerous that is. They don't care. They don't care.
They feel those that are doing this and instigating and making these phone calls to local law enforcement, they don't care who dies.
No, they don't.
It's a win-win as far as they're concerned.
Sure.
You're either going to have a conservative taken out for, reaching at the wrong time for a gun or something.
Or law enforcement.
Or
and both.
And then they can blame, look at the crazy conservative.
Yep.
This is not good, y'all.
Yeah, it's
Be
really
safe
bad.
and please just keep your head on straight.
I saw, Wednesday we talked about Snow White, which opens up this weekend. We had a big Snow White weekend. And,
today, right?
Yeah.
Opens today.
And we were talking about the little people being upset with Disney.
Yeah.
And, cutting them out of work for CGI in the movie. Well, they're protesting at Disney. And it's reported that LPs are flying in from around the world to join in on the protest.
LP.
Actress Allie Chapman, who's 50, stands 3'8", and she said that the whole point of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's right there in the title. Allie,
got a point there.
Allie,
she has a point.
Who is black, said if you flipped it and said, all black or all white actors should be replaced with CGI, there'd be an outcry.
Oh my gosh, that's for sure. However, who's responsible for it?
I know.
Isn't it Dinklage?
Well, that's the
What's
thing.
his face,
I mentioned that Dinklage would be a great dwarf.
Yeah.
Right. And I mentioned that on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten. It was brought to my attention. Remember, a couple years ago, he was on a podcast, the Mark Maron podcast, and they were talking about that, and he said this.
And it sounded a little something like this. This is the
clip?
Yeah. You got to.
What clip is it?
Okay. Do we have the Dinklage?
If they don't have the audio, that's fine. He said,
back
here we do. Yeah.
They're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White.
Yeah.
Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the fuck are you doing?
I know. So he went on to say, have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? What? I guess not loud enough. So that the day of that interview's publication, Disney stated it wanted to consult with members of the dwarfism community. A day later, we're going to change the dwarf characters to magical creatures with CGI, and that's where the real trouble began.
So he got his. So he was a successful actor, but nobody else. He slammed the door behind him.
According to the LP community, he's no hero.
Yeah,
he's no dwarf hero.
He's
not.
Elitist.
Obviously, yeah.
What a smug little man.
Yeah.
And he said it was on his soapbox?
Wow.
How many of those soapboxes was he on?
I don't know. You can get not very high. You can't step up very high.
Right. That's what he said. He wasn't loud enough.
Somebody lifted him up on it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
And I like Peter Dinklage.
He's good actor
too.
And he's gone out of his way to try to get parts and do parts that aren't the usual dwarf parts.
Like Elf.
But right. And he's said he's kind of backtracked
That's right. He wasn't an elf.
He was an elf. He was not an elf.
No, he was not an elf.
Or was he an angry little elf?
He was an angry
little elf, yes. And he said he's backed off on that now because he said, I got nothing against these people earning a living and trying to do that. Yeah, you do.
In part, he cost them a living.
Most definitely do.
7 people.
Yeah. They could have done really well.
And there's other jobs, too. That
maybe
if you listen to the Alley goes down a list in this one interview of jobs that got axed that were supposed
Snow
to be.
White.
Other movies as well in Hollywood that were supposed to be, go to dwarfs and be with dwarfs. And Hollywood was like, no.
Wow.
I think he just wants... When people think of dwarf actors, I bet it's just he wants people to only think of him.
I believe that.
Yeah. Wow, he sounds pretty arrogant. So you said that they went with magical creatures. So these aren't dwarfs.
I guess they're CGI
in Snow
magical
White?
creatures. Yeah.
I know they're CGI, but they're not representing dwarfs. They're magical creatures.
So did they change the title to Snow White and the Seven Magical Creatures?
Yeah.
Well, that's dumb.
And so they eliminated all the
probably
dwarves.
Just Snow White, right? The movie. I don't even know, but I bet the movie is probably just Snow White.
They eliminated the prince because
yes, they did. Yes,
the prince was a stalker, according to the star of the movie.
Toxic masculinity, Pat. You can't have that.
It's just crazy.
A princess
Disney
can't be
should.
safe.
Yeah,
Disney should shut down their movie division.
You're right. It's just Snow White.
Shut it down.
It is. Yeah. It's just Snow White.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Remember the theory? The reason why Gal Gadot got to be the evil witch because she's a Jew.
Yeah.
How they attach? They left the name White attached. Is that allowed?
It should just be Snow.
Snow.
Right? Snow, and then you don't even need a human in it. Just show the 2 hours of snow falling. You're all set.
That might do better than this one.
I hope. All right, we'll see you on Monday.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.